Hau'oli la lei. Happy Lei Day. May Day is Lei Day in Hawaii. This is the Traveling Bee, and I want to say mahalo to all of you for joining me on this most special day. It is May 1st, and that can only mean one thing. It's Lei Day is May Day in Hawaii, where everybody wears a lei. And what I have here for you today are lei that are not necessarily made out of flowers as we mostly expect them. But I do have some most interesting and, when it comes to ceremonial use, most important lei. Let me start from Makai to Mauka and the heavens. Let me start from the ocean to the mountains. These here we have are kupe'e. They are a type of snail that are found on the black basalt rocks on the shoreline. Now, depending on what island you find them on, they come in various colors. You see here, there's more of a light or white colored one. On the island of Hawaii, these thrive at South Point, or known as Kalailoa. They come with many freckled colors, such as pink and maroon. Now, these black ones are from the more black basalt rocks, and you have to go out and find them at night, pry them off the rock, get the little snail out of it, drill a hole, and string them together. And we wear these on our head, neck, wrists, and feet. Next, we have the haubush, which most of you probably know more so as a grass skirt type of material. Now, this actually comes from the inner bark of the haubush tree, which grows along the sides of the rivers, on the riverbanks, and it's the inner bark. We have to cut them down, clean them, and soak them, let them dry, and then we tie them onto a piece of string in a special way, the cordage rather. I have ones here that go around my feet, but we also have a skirt made out of these, as well as head, neck, wrists, and feet that we wear them on. And sometimes there are more than one lei. Now, this beautiful lei hulu, which is a feather lei, these are the most valued lei by an ali'i, or a chief, especially in the ancient days. Birds were not killed to make the feather lei. Their feathers were simply plucked off by a kahuna, a priest that would go up into the mountains, put a little glue on the edge of a stick, catch the bird, pluck off a feather or two, and the larger of a forest you had, the more feathers, because the more birds you'd have available to you. So these were worn by the high-ranking ali'i, or chiefs. They take a very long time to make. These are what we call the second cut. The first cut, lei hulu, are very fuzzy. And now let's take a look at some flower and foliage lei. This lei that I'm making here has a background using tea leaf, and I'm using some very special palapalai fern and roses from the backyard, along with just some other flowers that grow in the yard that can be used in lei because you can get them in clumps. So this is a braided lei. As I braid, I'm adding in more fern or the tea leaf, which is what I'm using to braid them all together. And you can really put anything in there, any type of fern, any type of flowers. And so this is also a process, but they come out as beautiful lei that we call lei haku. And that means that you compose those leis. You put them together with various things from nature. Here in Hawaii, there were very few, if any, fragrant flowers, but there was plenty of fragrant foliage to use from the forests here in Hawaii that were native. Whenever you're gathering your materials to make the lei, and especially while you're making the lei, you need to put good thoughts into the lei and think of the person who you're giving that lei to. And on Lei Day, which is May Day, everybody should be wearing a lei. This tradition started back in the 1920s when tourists started coming, and they were the only ones wearing lei. So the Lei Day, May Day festivities were designed for local people to wear lei here in Hawaii, not just the tourist. Everyone should enjoy. Here we have the typical lei la'i, or the typical twisted lei. This will protect you when you go to sacred places. So this comes from the tea leaf that's used as a backing, and here I'm simply twisting them together after I prepared them. Check out that video on lei making and lei preparation for the tea leaf lei. And these we wear also from the head all the way down to the toes. And here we have our beautiful loke, or rose, from our own garden. This is the Traveling Bee saying mahalo to all of you for joining me on a most special, fragrant, and beautiful day known as Lei Day in Hawaii. May Day is Lei Day in Hawaii. As we say in Hawaiian, until we meet again, a hui ho and aloha.